What's good, everybody? RK Renegade here, just dropping another video. It is Monday, the Monday following open weekend for Black Ops 7. So I just wanted to kind of recap everything that I have seen, my thoughts, and the direction of Call of Duty. Just wanted to kind of capture all of that and put that out there for YouTube. Maybe this helps you with a purchase that you are debating or lack thereof. Regardless, I just wanted to give a fair opinion on a game that I've supported for years. So let's get into it. So as you can see, we have co-op campaign automatically off the rip before even pressing any buttons. Co-op campaign is just that. There is online only for this, and you will see why after we get into it. So as you can see here, I'm loading up. Spoiler alert, there is a mode at the end of campaign. I'm sure you've seen the videos. It's called Endgame. You can fill your squad by finding a match. And it's very Destiny-like, very The Division by Tom Clancy. Mirroring those style of gameplay, in my opinion. It's an extraction, looter type of game. They have basically created a mode now. It's, in my opinion, is DMZ, but they have added so much potential here that gets me excited about it. I think throughout this entire year, unlike they did with DMZ before, they should build on this mode as much as they can. This mode is a great add. So in the end game, you find that you're looking for ways to increase your power level. Each character, I will show you right now, you go over to loadout. The character we're on is 50-50. Her combat rating is a 35. This is my farthest character. I, over the weekend, have played all the modes because I wanted to be able to get this video out on Monday and give a fair basis of what are we looking at for a game. So 50-50 is my farthest character. Her combat rating is a 35. As you take a look, she has a major and a minor ability. We discussed this in one of my news articles. She has War Machine on and Grappling Hook. Power upgrades, this is something I'm still figuring out how they drop. I think this is linked with the skill tracks, which is your leveling up. As you find power by killing some of the NPCs or bosses or completing contracts or missions around Avalon, you are given this blue orb that drops, and when you absorb it, it gives you experience, so to speak, for this mode, hence combat rating. You go into each drop with a loadout. So when you extract, you bring one of these weapons or two out of the extraction. You then can load in with these weapons and keep pushing for more and more. So around the spot that I'm at is the second tier zone. 45 is the end game tier zone. You can change their abilities, load in however you want to do it. The mode itself is really fun. You basically want to just keep pushing with your squad, completing missions, and get to the end game. There is a boss fight, and each character actually has a mode-specific skin. So if you extract with these characters, you will receive a very special skin for basically completing the end game. And going back to what I was saying earlier, how this has a lot of influence from other titles of the past. I truly believe this is Call of Duty trying to make up for Activision here in their sale of Destiny back in the day. They want to offset that loss. There's a player base that left Destiny to come play this game many moons ago. Um, as well as a lot of people are into looter shooters now, as some of these popular titles out right now have kind of stolen some players away from what might be playing this. But it's neither here nor there. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. I'm just giving you a fair basis of what's in the game right now. You can level your weapons from multiplayer in this mode. As we've seen prior, Black Ops 6, they had us leveling guns in zombies. So weapons that you guys absolutely hate, cannot stand, don't want to use online, I would very, very strongly recommend to use them in this mode. As well as campaign. I haven't touched base on campaign because that is a separate thing. I want it to be fair to Call of Duty here. This mode is a great add, and as you can see, I have dabbled a little bit in it, and if you're going to grab the game, maybe try it on Game Pass. Take a look at this mode, power through that campaign, and get to this point and check it out. This, in my opinion, one of the bright spots here. Out of a 10, I would give this mode an 8 right now, 8 out of 10. And that is coming from somebody who hasn't even hit the actual endgame boss point yet. I plan to do so within the next week or two here. Been very occupied with editing and all that stuff, but neither here nor there. This mode was a great add, 8 out of 10. And, moving right along, we're going to go over to multiplayer. So multiplayer over the weekend, a lot has come out on X, and I feel it's important to kind of go over this topic because it's not really fair of the flack that Treyarch is receiving for their multiplayer. I think this is a great multiplayer, and here's why. We have been asking them since Modern Warfare in 2019 decided to bring in skill-based matchmaking to basically get rid of it. They were catering to a small portion of the community that's looking to just dive into a game and just play. Growing up playing Call of Duty since Call of Duty 2 on PlayStation 2, this is where we're starting to turn a corner here in a good way for Call of Duty. The things we're asking for are returning. Whether or not you like the way this game plays, looks, or feels, whatever at the moment, you need to look at the core fundamentals that they have put into this game. So sitting in the lobby menu right now, you can see that blue and red emblem that says open playlist and persistent lobbies. We have asked for that for years. I don't know how many of you are Modern Warfare 2 players from 2009, but those lobbies were some of the best days in Call of Duty history. A lot of trash talk. I used to get into that stuff. A lot of us did. Trash talk in lobbies. A lot of matches where we're stomping people out. And it was an awesome time to just stay with the people and like you'd get back at them type of thing. Like there'd be a time where you'd win or lose. Persistent lobbies returning is a big thing. Call of Duty, I'm glad that they made this choice to do this. And as you can see, this is my takeaway from the weekend. They knew that there would be some flack. I think they did some damage control here. They left, if you see where I hit RB, playing on a controller, you go over to standard. In standard mode, they have matchmaking where skill is an important consideration. So they're letting you know. They're using this as a data point, by the way. It says matchmaking where skill is an important consideration. They are letting you know that there is skill-based matchmaking right here. Score per minute, KD ratio, win-loss, all that stuff's going to be incorporated. Boom, boom, boom. They're going to put you together with people. Granted, you're going to be playing modes that you might not like. I am a kill confirm player. Typically, I'll dabble in hardpoint. I do like TDM. Overload is a new mode that they're incorporating this year. I personally am not a fan of that mode. Domination, absolute sweat fest. I'm all set. They have it in a mosh pit. That's got to be... That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. Skill-based matchmaking is here. And I think they're using this as a data point. They're going to look at, okay, how many of our players from our player base are now actively seeking to play skill-based matchmaking. It's almost like a I told you so from Call of Duty, and they put this to the side over here as a little side note type of thing. I have not played this mode. I have no interest for skill-based matchmaking. I am an old school player. I'll take a beating one match. I don't care. And then I'll jump to the next. Not every match you're going to come in here and go 93-6. You're going to get your people that are sniffing bricks over here, not knowing what direction is down or up on their analog stick. And you're going to come out of lobbies with 50, 60 kills. Nobody cares. Even the sweat fests, you're still getting kills. The pace in this game and the time to kill is reminiscent of Cold War. It's a good pace. It's a very easy to play game, and they're very open about trying to keep skill-based matchmaking around with this mode hanging here. So going over to loadouts. We're going to take a look at some of the things that they've added this year that you might not have seen, and I'll gladly talk about, that I think is a nice little feature. So you go into this weapon. This is the M15, I believe it is. It's supposed to be the M4. This is all the attachments I have on this weapon. Now, I play with a couple of friends, and we constantly are bouncing ideas of gun builds off of each other. What's working, what's not working, what can we fine-tune this weapon? What do you need? Is your gun bouncing? Blah, 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 blah. You get the gist. The build code. What a great ad. They have added this in where instead of spending 32 minutes in a lobby with your buddies saying, hey, this is the optic or muzzle or barrel, whatever, going over all these attachments where they're going to get lost in the fluff. It's easier to just share a damn code. This is such an appreciated thing that they are giving us. I can sit here and say that this should have been in the minute that they started making gun builds. And for content creators, all you content creators out there that are making this is going to make your videos so much damn easier. Instead of us having a 9 to 10 minute video about saying, well, this is what I put on here. As you can see, and you go to my channel, I have one for the Maverick. But if you see this, all you have to do is share a code and show the stats, give a screenshot, drop it in your community tab. They're making this game very content creator friendly. Some of the community of COD might not like that, but a lot of the content creators, some of the big guys out here, are actually giving, information to Call of Duty, how to make this franchise pop even more. And Call of Duty's in a good spot, whether or not people like this title or not. That's totally on them. But again, I'm here to just help you either justify your purchase or do the opposite. If you don't want to buy this after what you've seen or heard, or find my thoughts to be, wow, that game sounds like shit, I'm doing my job either way here. I'm just reporting out on what I've played, what I've seen. As somebody who is now a first Prestige 45, I played Friday and Saturday and New Zealand time Thursday. Like I said, it's Monday night. I'm going over this, and this is where I believe the game is at. And a good point. Something else they've added this year that I think's a pretty cool idea, because we're going to be now making complete loadout kits. At least I am. I'll find myself in that corner over there. A lot of people don't really care. They go on YouTube, they look up meta gun builds. That's boring as shit. Let's be honest. If you're not a guy that's going out to be a professional Call of Duty player and you're just looking for an effective loadout, even the people out there that might have a tough time getting 8 to 10 kills a match right now, we'll be making loadouts to help you guys out regardless. So anyways, field upgrades, they have now added something called overclocks. So I'm running something on this class called Squad Link. So I'm going to go into that. I'm going to hit X. Now, I have it at a level 2 currently, and basically you can only choose one. At level 2, you get expanded area of effect. Level 3 is a command relay, which doubles the score that you earn from your squad link, which is pretty damn broken, but besides the point, I'm using squad link because that is a personal choice. This goes on any of these field upgrades. So trophy system, a lot of people run that. That's a good way to get points. Level 2, you get faster charge time. On level 3, you get +2 explosive charge ammo. So, neither here nor there. You could go into field upgrades now. Everything has a level up. So now you can make loadouts with things that are effective for your gameplay. So looking down the road on Call of Duty and not just at a face value of, oh, they just added some bullshit here. If you are a Battlefield 6 player or Battlefield in general, and you always are smashing on COD saying, yo, like, that game is for, high schoolers and blah, blah, blah. They are adding things now that are promoting actually playing a role. So if somebody's going to be support with, supply box, somebody's going to drop a supply box down, assault pack, excuse me. There is now perks for that. It's giving people incentive and reason to actually play a role. It also gives you experience for the challenges that you may unlock for that. Gives you icons to put onto your clan tag, all that stuff. Same thing with tacticals. It's there. Overclock for I'm a stim shot guy. Just me personally. So you got these for tacticals going on. It goes through all of them. Same thing. You're making a loadout based on these overclocks and tacticals and field upgrades. You could really tamper with it. Lethals as well. They have a ton of lethals this year. Point turrets, Molotovs, needle drone, blah, 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 blah. Everybody knows what the unlocks are. It's just cool that they've brought overclock in. Getting back to the overclocks, they've actually added them to kill streaks as well. So depending on how serious you are about kill streaks, again, play it by your role, your class, whatever. That's how you want to play. That's how you want to play. Most people that play COD, they're going for crazy shit. I'm one of those people. I kind of play the middle ground. I like to go for dogs and watch helis, all that shit. So if you go to your overclocks on this, for instance, even these, they actually force you to make a decision. What do you want to do? Do you want increased resistance to enemy gunfire? You have a lot of people that in this game are grinding camos, so they're shooting at the shit with launchers constantly. You could do guard mode. If you're an objective player, you're playing domination, you want something to watch over B, boom, put your heli over the top of that. Boom, there you go. You can do the same thing with dog over here. So first upgrade, longer active duration. That's just my personal take on it. Or you could do sentry mode. All these kill streaks have it. It's something you want to grind out. That's something you want to grind out. There's something for everybody in this game, and that's what I mean when I said earlier about the direction of Call of Duty is actually going in a good spot. I appreciate all these little things that they're adding. It gives you stuff to do when there isn't something to do. I felt like multiplayer this is not talking about Black Ops 6. I liked Black Ops 6 multiplayer, but I honestly feel like the multiplayer has not been as good of an experience since Cold War. That's my take. But this one, right off the jump, is giving us a good amount of content to cover, challenges. There's prestige challenges that are a lot longer than last year's launch, which I really appreciated. So just like last year's Black Ops, you can take a look through all the prestiges. That's pretty cool too. I didn't even realize that. I'm witnessing this in live time here. It says that I'm first 1% to enter first prestige. That's pretty wild. Pretty cool little stat there. Not that that's a cool stat. But I was early on to this game. I did New Zealand time. Prestige Master is still in the game for anybody that's looking for it. You get a ridiculous skin with some guy with the horns. I'm not personally one for like all that skin stuff, and I think it's kind of ridiculous. I really do hope they stay away a little bit more grounded this year. Like that skin, it's kind of outrageous, but it's not as bad as their other shit that they've put out. Like, stay away from the cell shaded stuff. Stop trying to take the easy money from like Beavis and Butthead and all that stuff. Like, cut all of that crap out of there. And kind of start peeling us back a little bit. Skins is fine, man. Nobody cares about that. It's just stop going over the top. You don't need a unicorn finisher that's ripping ass on the guy in front of him. Nobody's looking for that, being honest with you. and it's cool. It's okay to be critical of Call of Duty sometimes. This is how they get a little bit better. I'm a big fan of the title. I play it yearly. I was one of the idiots that bought, the Vault Edition. So I received some of the Masterworks. If I recall correctly, I believe they said they were going to tone back on the Masterworks as well. A lot of people had a problem with some of the Masterworks. I was one of them. I think that some of the Masterworks were outrageous. But I will say the Masterworks that they have in the game currently are not that bad. There is one that's kind of ridiculous, and it's the melee weapon, which is right here. Um, Kind of ridiculous, but even so, it's still not, as bad as the previous title was. So another thing that I missed in the initial beginning piece, giving you a little bit more incentive for Endgame. The 4 characters that you can play, they all unlock a specific skin. As you can see here, defeat the Endgame final boss and then escape with Mason. You receive a special skin. I think that skin's pretty cool. I believe this happens with a few of these characters, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if 50/50 has one. Yep, 50/50 has one. And I think Faulkner has one. So there's special skins to acquire from doing the end game as well. So early on, they're incentivizing to play all the modes, and that's something that you could appreciate. I like a game that's gonna make you want to play something, and that was another piece to this whole thing that I appreciate that Call of Duty has done so far off the rip is playing the campaign has not been in my deck of cards since 2019 Modern Warfare. I gave up on playing the Call of Duty campaigns because I just stopped caring. There's no point. You're not giving me level progress. You're not helping me level up my weapons. I'm a multiplayer guy. I'm a father outside of my YouTubing. So having a couple hours a night to get on the game or whatever, a week, excuse me, you're not going to have the time to jump into campaign and get through it. So they incentivize that for everybody. So this year I did things a little differently. Typically every year I do New Zealand, I go right to multiplayer. And then Friday I go right to multiplayer and go through the opening weekend. I'm usually a second to third prestige by the end of Sunday. This year they incentivized it. They gave us an end game mode. Me and my buddies actually really were excited about. We wanted to dive into. So, exactly what I just got done saying. They're making you have replayability. You want to go through it again. They're making challenges. They've stated for season 1, specifically going to cover challenges just for campaigns. So you're going to have to go through some of these missions outside of Endgame. If that's something you need. If you're an experienced grinder or you could give a shit and you're just going to play multiplayer, it's just giving people something on every front. A reason to go back and play campaign and go through intel. They have the intel to go through. If you're a lore finder, zombies is awesome per usual. I have played a couple of rounds, to be very honest. I have not gotten through the entire plot line here. I did like maybe the first couple of things. It just wasn't in the cards for me for that round. But they offer a lot of things right off the rip. You're getting Pack-a-Punch camos now. The other thing that they're doing, they're carrying over from Black Ops 6. Any of the augment research that you had done in Black Ops 6 is carrying on over into this game. So instead of having to re-level up some of the shit that you had from last game, which I'm so glad they did that because that is just repulsive. You have it to start the game. So whenever we do, me and my buddies get around to playing some zombies, we're already where we were in the last game. Ammo mods as well. They've added a couple of different things. Let's see. I think it was Wisp Tea for the Perca-Colas, and then the ammo mod was Fireworks, and the field upgrade was Toxic Growth. So they've added some new stuff, and I feel like they're going to add more stuff as the seasons go. You know how it is with their seasonal stuff. Um, as far as is this game polished, um, off of the rip, I believe this game is one of the more polished pieces of content that they've put out in a long time. Um, let's talk now about the elephant in the room, and that is the standard campaign missions. Wow, that campaign was bad. No way to cut that one. I am a big supporter of COD, and I just want to touch this topic before we get into this. Let me just give my final ratings on the other modes. I gave Endgame an 8 out of 10. I give Zombies a solid 7 out of 10. And multiplayer for me, in the current state it's in, I would have to say it is a 9.5 out of 10 for me personally. The only complaint I have with multiplayer is 2 maps. Really bad. 2 really bad maps out of, I believe there's like 10 or 12 maps that they've launched us with. And the only other thing would be rotations. The rotations need to be adjusted. That being said, that will get corrected with seasonal change. I'm confident in that. 9.5 out of 10 for multiplayer. Campaign, it's impossible to give this above a 2. It was fun. The only reason it got a 2 was because of how I liked the boss fights, the mechanics. But the campaign, the story, the missions, what the hell was I looking at? I don't know what that was. It was a 2 out of 10. Everybody has seen the ridiculous video going around of Michael Rooker, a 17-foot tall friggin' fire breathing, car burping, whatever the hell that was. Nobody knows. You got Woods turning into a Super Mario flower. I don't know what the idea was. I appreciate creativity and coming up with something, but I think there's also a line in the sand where numerous brains that are sitting in a room can say, wow, what the fuck are we putting out right now for content? It is what it is, guys. They can definitely recuperate from that. Who the hell plays Call of Duty for a campaign these days? It just stinks that it happened on a game where they heavily incentivized going through their campaign. That is my only complaint about the whole thing. This is the first Call of Duty where you've given me a multiplayer exclusive guy, somebody who kind of dabbles in zombies here and there, to play a campaign, and it was that one. That really sucked, but all in all, guys, an overall score for me, I could literally eliminate campaign missions 1 through 11. I could just get rid of all those. I could care less. I'm not going to do the challenges for them. That's how bad I hated the campaign when the challenges come out. Endgame, multiplayer, and zombies. This game is a solid 7, 8.5. 8.5 out of 10. Final score stamped by me. Awesome time so far. I'm hoping that they don't fall back on their word with the ridiculous skins and continue on the path that they're on, because they've put a lot of good things in place. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Was your opening weekend pretty good? What did you think about zombies? And campaign, I think we know the answer to that one. And what about Endgame? If there's anything else that I might have missed in this video that you would like to touch upon, let's talk in the comments. Drop one down for me. Like my video, subscribe, and follow for more Call of Duty Black Ops 7 content, news, updates, and loadout videos. Thanks for sticking around today, guys. RKR out. Peace.